Alright guys, this video is going to be way quicker than I would want it to be, or you might want it to be, but I more or less just wanted to make this because I have both of these on hand, and they're similar. I think so anyway. The Breitling's a touch larger, so let's cover size. So the Hamilton is a 41 millimeter watch, the Breitling is a 41. The lug-to-lug on the Hamilton is a 49 millimeter. The lug-to-lug on the Breitling is a 50.6. So a little bit longer, a little bit wider. The thickness on both of them is 14.6, so they match on the thickness. The lug width also 20 millimeter on both of them. The crowns, the Hamilton is a 7 millimeter, and honestly I thought the Hamilton was a larger crown, but the crown on the Breitling is actually 7.25. It is a push-pull crown, and you have a snap-down case back. On the Hamilton, you have a screw-down crown and a screw-down case back. So you're going to have, I think, 100 meter water resist on the Hamilton, and I believe 30 meter on the Breitling. Movements. The Hamilton is using what Hamilton calls the H31. And then Breitling is using the caliber 23. Both of them are essentially based off from ETA 7753, which is based off the Valjoux 7750. Obviously, there's differences here. The Breitling has a no date. The Hamilton has a date, which is operated by this little push button down here, or up here. Other than that, they're kind of the same. You can see the dial layout's the same. The chronograph feel is the same. The speed of both of them is the same. 60-hour power reserve on the H31, and it should be a 42 power reserve on the caliber 23 in the Breitling. So very similar specs. You know, the Hamilton is worked over. You know, it's got a bunch of, I can't go into the details. I will put a link in the description to all of this information where I received it from. As far as the information of what Breitling does to make it their caliber 23 versus the ETA 7753, most movements, like even my Super Ocean, yeah, it has the ETA 2824 in it, but Breitling tears it down, rebuilds it, and they do like whatever wizardry they do, and they make it COSC, and they put their touch on it. It's not just a bog standard movement. From my understanding, they actually do a little in-house work on it and make it their own. Short of being an in-house movement, it's definitely worked over by them. So the big disparity here is going to be the price. I'm a little desensitized to it, and I think a lot of you guys are as well. I think this jump from the retail price on the Hamilton of $22.45, that's with the mesh bracelet, which I have here. I picked this up from Mimo's Jewelry in Long Beach. I'll put a link to his website in the description, versus the Top Time Breitling here. This is the last year's model, I think. There's a newer one out that has like a pop of orange and everything, a little bit different dial out, but this is the Zorro, the Mask of Zorro. The retail on this one is $4,990. And this one was sent in by Saltzman's, Richard over at Saltzman's Jewelry in Rhode Island. So I'll put a link to their website in the description as well. This is the last one they have of this. These are gone. These are like a limited edition. They only made 2,000 of these. And when they're gone, they're gone. And this is the last one that Saltzman's has. So if you're interested in getting this, contact Richard ASAP, because it's going to go pretty quick as soon as people realize that this is the last one for them anyway. So, you know, you got a price difference of, you know, what is that, like $2,700 or something? Is my math wrong? My math's definitely wrong. It's like $1,700 or something, right? So, you can see how disconnected I am from it. Bottom line is, I think if you can stretch and land, and now we're just talking retail, not discounts. There's going to be discounts on both these typically, but if we're just talking retail prices, because that's what we're going off from, if you can stretch and pay $22.45 for this guy, it's not the only watch in your collection most often. I'm sure there's people out there that they have just this one watch and they're totally fine with it. But if you can stretch and do that, but you really are connecting with the Breitling Top Time series, whether it be this one or the other one, you can probably wait a little bit longer and spring the extra money and go for it. So it's just really coming down to a preference. I think these two, although I am making a kind of a comparison video, other than the price, which I think when you're buying a cool chronograph, maybe price shouldn't be the determining factor always. Maybe it should be like, which one do you actually want? Do you want the Hamilton? That's iconic. Or do you want the Breitling Top Time? There is a ton of history on this design models from Breitling, and I covered that in the Breitling video. So it just comes down to which one you want, and scrape together the funds and make it happen. Let me kill the lights so you can see the loom. It's not going to be spectacular, but we'll see it. So there we go. There's a little comparison with the loom. Also very similar. Pretty much all in the same spots and about the same intensity. All right, guys, thanks for watching. Big thanks to Mimo for sending this one over, and big thanks to Richard over at Saltzman's for sending the Breitling over. I'll see you guys on the next vid.